Welcome to the GE Video Academy. This video will be focused on how to set up a time server on the WiYZ gateway. Open up a web browser and enter the IP address of the WiYZ gateway into the address field and press enter. When the login prompt appears, enter the configured username and password. Press the login button. Once the overview page appears, move your mouse to the left-hand side of the web page to the navigation toolbar. Click the arrow next to Configuration. When the drop-down appears, click on Identity and Time. On the page that loads, you will see a section called Date and Time Configuration. A gateway that has not synced its time to a time server or has not been set with a time after a reboot has occurred will have the default value of the time and date like seen here. There are three options to configure the time: Get from the WAN interface, a custom SNTP server IP, and custom date and time configuration. When using Get from WAN interface option, the gateway will get its SNTP address from the WAN interface. This will only work if the interface that the WAN interface is pointing to is set to give out the IP address of the SNTP or NTP server to the clients. However, if there is no time server located within the reach of the WAN interface of the gateway, time will not be synchronized. The custom date and time option allows the user to set a static date and time. Besides setting the time and date, you can use the nearest city option. This is an automatic UTC offset converter for the gateway based on location. The gateway also allows you to change the display of the date and time. Under the Date Format option, you will see the options for US, European, and Generic. Choose the time and date display desired. As you see on the web page, any changes made to these options require a commit prior to changing the actual date and time. Commit any changes that you have made. This will then allow you to configure the date and time. Note that if you've properly configured the nearest UTC offset, enter the local time into the gateway. Note that the time in the gateway is based on the 24-hour clock. The custom date and time is useful for many cases, but the configured date and time will be lost after a reboot. To avoid this problem, configure the gateway with the time server. This can be done using the custom SNTP server IP option. Enter the IP address of the desired time server. This can be either a NTP or SNTP server. The gateway will sync to either. Change the nearest city, UTC offset, and date format if necessary. Then press the Commit button. Allow the gateway to sync up its time to the time server. You will notice that the web interface has restarted. This is normal behavior. The web interface is time dependent. That means, once the time has been synchronized, the web interface will need to restart in order to synchronize itself. Log into the gateway once again. Navigate to the Identity and Time page located under Configuration. Once the page is up, notice that the time and date have been synchronized. Also note, besides the web interface, the mesh interface has also restarted. Navigate under the Mesh Network tab located on the left-hand side of the web interface. Click on Status. You will see that the mesh has restarted. This is also expected behavior because the mesh network is also time dependent. During the time when the mesh is coming back up, note that any data being retrieved by the remotes will be temporarily paused. Please be advised that any time a change is made to the date and time, both the web and mesh interfaces will restart. Therefore, make sure time is synchronized before sensitive data is recorded.